Bitcoin has crashed again, and this time it is not because of the market or some whale selling a few billion. This crash has a name: Donald Trump. He just ignited a 100% tariff war with China, and the ripple effect has torn through the global economy like a thunderclap. Stocks are bleeding, commodities are trembling, and Bitcoin, the so-called digital gold, is collapsing under the shock. This is not an ordinary market dip. This is a political earthquake shaking the foundation of global finance. And in the next few minutes, you will see how one presidential move turned the world's most powerful cryptocurrency into collateral damage. Here is what happened. President Trump announced that starting November 1st, the United States will impose an additional 100% tariff on Chinese imports. This means every phone, chip, car part, and steel product coming from China could cost twice as much overnight. For businesses that rely on Chinese manufacturing, this is financial whiplash. For traders, it is chaos. For Bitcoin, it is a shockwave. Markets thrive on confidence, not conflict. When a tariff war begins, global liquidity freezes. When liquidity freezes, investors panic. And when panic takes over, Bitcoin bleeds first. Within hours of Trump's announcement, Bitcoin prices dropped sharply. Billions of dollars in long positions were liquidated across major exchanges. The message was clear. The tariff war had escaped the headlines and entered the blockchain. But here is where it gets darker. This tariff is not an isolated move. It is part of Trump's bigger America First 2.0 strategy, a plan to reclaim manufacturing dominance by squeezing China's exports until they break. To some, it sounds patriotic. To global investors, it sounds like a siren warning that a new Cold War has officially begun. China did not stay silent. Within 24 hours, Beijing retaliated. Officials hinted at retaliatory tariffs and tightened rules on capital outflows, meaning less Chinese money can escape into assets like Bitcoin. Think about that. China is one of the largest crypto trading markets on Earth. Every time Beijing clamps down, Bitcoin's lifeline shrinks, and this time the lifeline is suffocating. It is not just trade barriers now, it is a digital chokehold. Then Trump spoke again. At a rally, he called Bitcoin a threat to American dominance. The words echoed across every trading screen on the planet. Fear spread faster than fact. Algorithms picked it up, sell orders triggered. In minutes, Bitcoin fell another 5%. One man's sentence became a market's collapse. One tweet wiped billions. One trade policy reshaped investor psychology overnight. The world's media called it the Trump shock. But it is more than shock, it is strategy. By weaponizing tariffs, Trump is doing two things at once. He is pressuring China economically, and he is testing how far American markets can bend before they break. And guess what asset bends first under pressure? Bitcoin. While many believe Bitcoin is independent of politics, in reality, it breathes the same air as every other market. When the dollar strengthens, Bitcoin weakens. When trade tension rises, liquidity falls. And when fear dominates headlines, risk dies. By the end of the week, Bitcoin had erased tens of billions in market value. Exchanges reported mass liquidations. Social media erupted with panic. Some called it manipulation. Others said it was justice. Trump did not need to sell a single Bitcoin to crash it. All he needed was a pen, a policy, and perfect timing. Now imagine the dominoes. Higher tariffs mean higher prices. Higher prices mean inflation pressure. Inflation pressure means central banks tightening. Tighter policy means less risk appetite. And that chain of pain always ends with the same victim, crypto. Because for all its innovation, Bitcoin still feeds on optimism. And optimism is dying in a world of economic wars. So what happens next? China may respond with its own digital offensive, accelerating the rollout of its digital yuan to bypass dollar trade routes. If that happens, the crypto world faces a new threat, a centralized digital weapon competing with decentralized freedom. Trump's tariff war may not only crash Bitcoin's price today, it may reshape its purpose tomorrow. But here is the real twist. Every crash in Bitcoin's history has created a new generation of believers and opportunists. The question now is, which one are you? Will you panic, sell, and walk away? Or will you understand that this chaos is not the end of Bitcoin's story? It is just another chapter in its war against control. The world is changing fast. Politics, economics, and digital assets are colliding like never before, and the lines between power and panic are disappearing. So the next time you see Trump step onto a podium, remember this moment, because every word he speaks moves more than markets. It moves the future of money itself. If you found this story eye-opening, do not blink now. The next video will uncover how Bitcoin could strike back, and why this crash might secretly be the start of its biggest comeback yet. Subscribe, stay sharp, and remember, in the war between power and freedom, every crash has a message.